Hello and welcome, my name is Lynx, and we will continue today with Spirit Sisters. That's right. Chapter 2, Seth. That's right, this menacing guy is Seth. And he even has a chapter titled after him, so maybe we should be worried. Let us continue. It's a pleasure to meet you, child. I am Seth. What the freak? That's all she has to say. Wendy turns around to take a look, only to be met with a tall, alarming figure standing right on top of them. And by that she means herself and that other being that we've seen in the end of chapter 1. This being looked more like a man wearing a pitch black suit, accompanying a red tie and a white dress shirt. He had long white hair and had all the characteristics of an older man, except for one thing. For one thigh, come on. He didn't have a face. At least not traditionally. He had a skeleton face, but not that of a human. This looked more like a horse's skeleton? Equipped with two rectangular horns sticking out the top with pitch black hollow eyes. Would it call you a horse's skeleton? I'm not sure myself, to be quite honest. Maybe. Skeleton. Skull. This didn't look like an average man, nor did it give off the feeling of a spirit. This was an entirely different being altogether. Gives the vibes of like a devilish being, to be fair. Who the hell is this guy? But it was not just that. This man gave off such an off-putting vibe. Hello. Hey? Hi. The room was filled with an awkward silence. Seth? That's a weird name if I do say so myself. Is that so? This guy. This guy is super sketchy. Well, I'll play along for now. So, I'm guessing you have something to do with my current whereabouts then? Wendy guessed as she subsequently placed her sword down. Yeah. Forgive me for my hastiness, but given the situation you had befallen yourself in, it seemed imperative to bring you here to the Spirit Temple to safeguard your absolute survival. Spirit Temple? I see. So where exactly are we? As I can recall, I was just in Japan. How exactly did the curse cause me to end up here? The tall man now carried himself in a more relaxed manner. Raised one of his hands and pointed upward. That would be through your own spirit affinity. There are many lesser That's blowing air into the bottle is kinda getting in the way. Oh yeah, speaking of, I was supposed to do this. There are many lesser spirits around the underworld, but more so within the Earth's very oceans. It's still loud as freak, so it's not in the sound. No way it's in the voice volume. Wow. I did not expect that. But I'm glad I moved this a little bit. When your magic amalgamates with the fleeting lesser spirits within the primordial waters, it must open a gate leading you here. I see. So my guess was correct. Demigod or not, I seem to have a higher affinity to spirits than others. In any case, I suppose I owe you one. Seth, was it? Not to judge or anything, but I don't see many people that look like you. By any chance, are you also a demigod? She asked him, sensing a bit of hesitance coming from the dark-suited man.
No. To be specific, young child, I'm an old god. One of the first gods to appear during the first dynasty. The god of sandstorms. Seth.
Do you think I will not go and check it out? I know Seth from the name, obviously. But that's about it. Deity is a god of desert, storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners in an ancient Egyptian religion. Seth had a positive role where he accompanied around his bark to repel Apep, the serpent of chaos. Seth had a vital role as a reconciled combatant, lord of the red land, so desert, where he was to balance the Horus role as lord of the black land, fertile land. In the Osiris myth, the most important Egyptian myth, Seth is portrayed as the usurper who murdered and mutilated his own brother Osiris. Osiris' sister wife Isis reassembled his corpse and resurrected her dead brother husband. What? With the help of the goddess Nephthys. The resurrection lasted long enough to convince his son and her Horus. Horus sought revenge upon Seth, and many of the ancient Egyptian myths describe their conflicts. You know what? She said his skull looks like that of a horse, but literally like the kind of main picture on Wikipedia. You know what it gives me more the vibes of? And I bet I'm going to get on a very bad side of ancient Egyptian gods. But to me, it looks like literally kinda like an anteater, basically. Am I the only one who has that idea? Maybe. But yeah, it's just that picture for. On this one over here, definitely not. Anywho. Eh? Seriously, God? You're like a god. That's unbelievable. I mean, from that skull face, I could have sworn you were some type of supervillain or a shady cosplayer at least.
I see. Yeah. I suppose I do have a bad rep given my current appearance, for it's not like there is much I can do about it.
I mean, you're just not what I expected is all. Now that I take another look, you certainly give off the appeal of an almighty god.
Never mind that. Would you care to walk with me for a second?
Wendy blinks twice before looking down her newly acquired sword, then looking back at the god. Sure. This guy is super sketchy. Is he really supposed to be some god like he says he is? How do you not know it, Seth? Come on. I know I don't know the details, but I knew the name.
I'm sorry for the abruptness of your situation. However, if it's any consolation, I would like to take this time to explain any questions you may have.
Well, I suppose I do have a few. For starters, why the chosen to become a demigod? Oh, so she's now that I did not kind of think about it earlier, but now I think, now it came to my mind. In a way, she's kinda in a similar situation as Mashkarielite. Anyway.
The Phoenix spirit in legend was thought to be the most powerful spirit in existence. My theory is, its power too great to be held by a single vessel, so to counteract this transgression, its power must have been divided into two separate entities to better monopolize its power.
Wow. So it was all just by chance then?
Chance? Yes. Fate can be rather tricky. Have you gotten a chance to look at the spirit lilies?
Spirit lilies.
Yes, these blue flowers only bloom in the presence of divine spirit magic. Before you arrived, this temple had a notable lack of them. But upon your arrival, a great surplus of them have started to bloom around the entire temple.
So this spiritual temple, what's its purpose for?
Its purpose is to withhold all the accumulated spirit magic from around the world, and to safeguard the spirit goddess.
Oh.
About every few centuries, a human is bestowed the power equal to a god.
Where is mine?
They gain the title of Spirit Maiden.
Oh, that's why there is not for... Okay.
Reigning monarchy over all the spirits in this and other realms.
What's that thing in the distance to the right of his horns? You see there's like a reddish thing, right? I can tell it's not dirt on my screen because I see that on both screens. What is that thing?
Since ancient time, many humans have been given the power of the gods. Hercules, King Arthur.
Yeah, that's my previous situation, okay?
Heroes born from the myths. What's happened to you is not so different to those folk tales.
Seriously? So what, I'm just a goddess now?
A demigoddess might be more accurate, as... yeah. It's important to understand that the magic of this world is highly influenced by the power of the spirits. Since all gods use spirits as their catalyst to using greater magic, the deity who rules over them can potentially rule over magic itself, making them far too powerful than a demigod should be.
Spirit goddess. Wait, so you mean? She turns to the... Seth turns to a young woman before answering.
Yes, the phoenix's blue flames invoke the change within you, not just a physical one, but a spiritual one. After being resurrected by the great fire spirit, it caused a metamorphosis within you. Filling you with spirit magic, you have been elevated to a new plane of existence. Wendy TATEGAMI, you are now the spirit goddess, master of lesser and greater spirits.
Wait. This is all about a bit too much taking. The phoenix part I can't believe since I actually felt the... I think you meant I can believe. The phoenix part I can't believe since I actually felt the firebird thing. But spirit goddess? I mean, you've seen all the little spirits, right? That all seems a bit too grand for me. Before all this, I was just a normal teenager crying out loud. For crying out loud. There is quite a bit of typos. Now that I think about it.
I understand this is a lot to take in, but this is the reality you must face. By glory of Ra, this is your destiny.
Dude, why do I not get contacted by the ancient gods of Egypt? I think those gods were so much cooler than what we have now. I really do think that. Like, what we have now is whatever. There we have freaking ancient gods, heroes, and so on. Shoot, even let's go a little further in Europe, you know, gods from ancient Greece or ancient Rome. So much cooler. Why did we go the way we went? Anyway.
You have been chosen by the Phoenix to become a demigod. It is now your sacred duty to work out the will of the gods and save the world from damnation.
In a rather immature fashion, Wendy stomps on the god's foot. What? I said don't want to hear all of that. Don't give your stupid lore dump, you old school face.
Ah, you didn't hold back there, did you?
I won't pretend like everything you just said doesn't at least kind of make sense given my own experiences with the matter. Okay, I click the enter, and I think I need to click once again. Sorry.
It's alright. I can understand your frustration.
Yeah, see, the current gods would be like, you know what, I'm gonna smite you and all your family as well. And this guy is like, I understand. So much cooler.
Why don't we make our way back to the temple?
Okay.
Oh. Before we continue, is there anything else you would like to know?
How do I get out of here? What exactly are the spirits? I want everything. I want all the lore. What exactly are the spirits? Like, are they dead souls or entities from another realm?
Not exactly. Essentially, spirits are the foundations of Hekka.
Hekka.
Magic.
I see.
Okay, so let me explain it to you this way. Spirits are similar to living beings, except unlike mortals, they retain only a metaphysical form. They are divine entities of light, and they form the building blocks for all matter in this world. They start as one, but they are quick to multiply, filling the space until a swarm of spirits are formed. Normally, this energy swarms chaotically, but when a god calls for their aid, they're able to harvest that energy and control it.
I love actually the fact that there are animations, like little animations in this game. Need more of that in visual novels.
We do. We really do.
Except maybe for the blinding screens. That's not necessary. Should I click? I will click. Oh wow! Sandstorms. Sandstorms. Why sandstorms?
Well, in ancient times, we battled in the deserts. Control over the sands marked you as a controller over the lands. A king. Sandstorms is only one of my titles for them.
Yeah. Why is my hair blue? It was definitely black before.
That is a simple answer. It is because of Tefnut.
Tefnut? What?
Yes. Tefnut. The spirits of moisture. They are the primary form of magic that you absorbed in your time here.
I mean, technically she was lying in the water, so...
These spirits radiate in a blue hue, altering your physical aesthetic.
Oh, I see. How many gods are there?
Quite a few, yeah. If you mean just Egyptian, then there are around 24 of us out there. For I cannot say for certain how many of us are still roaming around to this day. I guess we didn't stay in contact.
Wait, are you saying there are other gods out there from the other pantheons? Why wouldn't there be?
Yes. For I'm not familiar with their history, forgive me.
Literally, why wouldn't there be, right? Why are my... Okay, why are my spandex so erotics? Did I say erotics? Erotic. Seriously, I feel like I'm still nude here.
I'm sorry about that. I don't have any affiliation with the previous spirit goddess, so I can't explain why she chose to wear that certain outfit.
I mean... She had good taste. Technically, you can wear something over the spandex if you think about it. Like, dude, if I think about myself, as by now, if you are around for a while, you would know. I used to play football in my like junior years, teenager, and basically underneath the shorts, well, you can go, not obviously normal underwear, right? But a lot of times, most of the times, you would have still some spandex shorts underneath, basically. So, yeah, I mean, wearing something over it is absolutely normal. Anyway.
I think it looks okay on you for...
Gross. I also think what he thinks. No, I'm good. I mean, we checked all the options.
Alright then.
So where do we go from here? And how exactly can I get out of this temple?
Yes. I suppose we should make our way back to the temple. There is still a bit more I must explain to you, however. For now, why don't you retrieve that black sword for a moment?
Wendy, looking a bit hesitant, decides to go to the temple, doing as the older one says. Waiting outside, Seth starts able to hear a loud commotion going on inside of the temple. Old temple. What? After a few minutes, he then sees a blue-haired girl dragging out the sea otter spirit from within the temple, the sea otter begrudgingly holding the sword with his wet paws.
No! Seth, stop her! This woman's gone crazy!
Oh, shut up. This wouldn't be happening if you'd just cover up the sword. Wendy drags the spirit down the stairs until they are both standing in front of Seth.
No! Like I said, you cannot possibly be the spirit goddess. Someone as unholy and vulgar as you have no right to wield such a divine weapon. I will tell you to slay Undine's name.
Oh, Undine. Nice. Oh, can it, you little peeps, quick. I thought you had it all coming. Next time, hold the match time trial for your stupid god ritual. Now, let go of the freaking sword. The two argue back and forth before Seth grows tired of this exchange and claps his hand. A large echo swiftly follows. There was a terrible clap, by the way.
That's quite enough, Otto. Are you so ignorant that you cannot put aside your own personal feelings on the matter? Have you even taken a moment to look at your surroundings?
Oh yeah, the lilies and so on.
Seth, forgive me. Oh, just...
Take a look at the outskirts of the temple, throughout its interior and exterior. Do you not see them? The blooming amalgamation of the spirit lilies is a sight to behold. Must I remind you that these flowers are only fated to bloom in the presence of the spirit magic at its purest? It should go without saying that the only person who could bring these flowers to their blossoming nature would be the spirit goddess herself.
I believe she's a goddess.
Yes.
Okay, that's Otto saying that for sure.
Yes, Master Seth, you must be correct. The magical blossoming of the spirit lilies is something I haven't seen since...
Oh yeah, what happened to the previous spirit goddess? Otto doesn't finish but looks down the ground with a sudden expression. Though he was a greater spirit, he once upon a time also held the title of a familiar, being somewhat of a yes man to this world's previous spirit goddess, Undine. Oh yeah, speaking of Undine, let's check out that description as well. Although we are kinda familiar with the name because there was one game where Undine was around. Undines. Undines are a category of elemental beings associated with water stemming from the alchemical writings of Paracelsus. Later writers developed the Undine into a water nymph in its own right, and it continues to live in modern literature and art through such adaptations as Dennis Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid. This is more like a Nordic mythology, right? Nordic mythology. Through that woman, For that woman had died almost 100 years ago. Damn. Her spirit lingers within the spirit temple, as her body has been kept in a casket along with all the previous spirit goddesses. Oof. This place acts like a morgue of sorts, for their spirits have mostly passed to your side. There are a few remnants that stay behind as well.
Perhaps I was too harsh before.
Otto looked up to see where that voice had been emitted from.
Now looking back at the whole thing, I see you were just doing your job, is all. It wasn't right of me to take out my frustration on you the way I did.
Oh!
Listen, I don't know much about this whole god stuff, nor about what standards and customs I should have withheld, but the previous user must have meant a lot to you. I don't have intention of setting myself down the proposed path, but I promise not to sully any of the memories of those who came before me. I'll simply continue to do what I've always done, and that's trying my best.
The greater spirit looks up with a bit of hope in his dark, big eyes.
What'd you say? Is there any chance you can forgive me?
Wendy finishes off as she bends down to be at the eye level with the spirit. After taking a moment to process the little speech the girl gave, Otto puts on a more accepting expression.
Yes, it would be my honor as a greater spirit to hoist up the next spirit goddess to her designated state of glory.
Otto says, feeling as he may have misjudged the blue-haired woman a bit too presumptuously.
Here, it has now come to my realization this does in fact belong to you.
That was easy. He says, holding out the sword for Wendy to accept it.
Thank you,
says Wendy, reaching out and grabbing the sword, but not before showing a bit of action towards the small great spirit by wrapping her arms around it in a hug. Woo! Lucky bastard! Smiling at each other, they both turn around and look back at the elder god.
So, why do you ask me to recover this anyway?
Yes. I was thinking it'd be best if we begin your training.
Before Wendy has a moment to speak, an alarming sound is emitted from behind the designated group. Through the pond-like area that Wendy had previously arrived here from, a slew of three dark monsters emerged from the waters. Didn't you say free? You said free! 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 This is more. 8. What the heck?
No way! Those are demons, aren't they?
Yes, these demons must have attracted here due to your arrival. So I suggest you attempt to slay them before they cause any harm to these sacred grounds.
What? There is 8 of them. You expect me to fight them all by myself?
The demon slunged at the girl, forcing her to block with her sword.
Yes. I cannot interfere with the acts of demons according to my oath. Best of luck to you then.
After hearing his monotone words, Wendy continues her fight with the demons. 8 of them. After a certain period of time passes, she's seen leaning on the hilt of the sword, with... I don't know, 3 or 8 now. With the demon corpses slowly turning into ash.
Haha, what a dick.
She says out of breath, looking at the god that had been silently watching in the background.
Don't be so dramatic. You did excellently. Your form and precision were impeccable for a newbie.
It's not a big of a deal. I could have died. Again! I guess it's whatever. I took Kenda for a long time, so I know my way around a sword. It all seems like I can emulate fire from my body at times.
Naturally, the Great Phoenix is a force to be reckoned with. I can see why Ra had sought its power.
Ra?
Egyptian god, another one. Come on.
Yes, Ra is the king of all the gods, the sun god.
Wendy, now recovering from her recent battle, decides to go to a nearby rock and sits down.
Sun god, huh? How many gods are there?
We already asked that question.
That depends on what you consider a god.
Seth says, mimicking Wendy by sitting on a slightly bigger rock perpendicular to her.
In this world, there are great and powerful things many people over time have come to associate with gods, such as order and time. certain facets of knowledge may have been lost in translation over the centuries. For instance, what you may refer to as the Big Bang may be what I'd refer to as the birth of the greater concepts that form the universe known as the Ennead. And through those concepts came Ra, the first god to be birthed from the greater consciousness outside of the primordial chaos.
Whoa.
After Ra was born, several gods that represented their own origins and ideas quickly came to being. In a sense, all gods are children of Ra, for we all derive from a part of him.
So we have Shu, god of air, and Tefnut, goddess of moisture. Okay, then we have Geb, god of earth, and Nut, goddess of sky. Osiris, god of underworld, Isis, goddess of magic, Nephthys, goddess of night, and Seth, god of storms. Okay. This is getting historical, kind of.
Now in these days, all the old gods have removed themselves from the mortal realm to a degree.
Don't worry, even the not old gods did that, come on. Unless, you know, we count the bad things. They left the bad things behind, that's for sure. Like Cancer, Russians, Middle East. Yeah, I wish they took that one with them.
Some continue to help humanity in the ways they are still permitted, others choose to stay within the realms and carry out their sacred duties. The rest simply remain the god realm, aiding humanity by continuing to grant chosen humans to become demigods.
Like me?
Yeah, for no demigod history has ever necessarily been as special as, say, you.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
To be selected to become a spirit goddess as well as given the power of spirit, summoned by Ra, surely you will be part of a new pantheon that will save this world in its entirety.
The question is this world worth saving? Is it? Wendy suddenly stands up to stretch before letting out a tiresome sigh.
Ha! You know, out of all religions, I never thought the Egyptian gods would end up being real.
Come on! Okay. This is a little mess in the writing. Because earlier, he literally said the other pantheons also exist. So they are real as well, technically.
So bizarre.
I mean, I would not complain. One of the coolest one, to be fair.
I mean, aren't you all kind of furries?
No, they are not.
What?
I mean, like you all have weird animal heads, right? What even is that, a horse?
I don't know what you're referring to. But yes, the Egyptian gods are real. I'm one of them after all. And yes, most of us share animal characteristics, but only a small few of us actually share bestial craniums. When the Ennead, I'm the sole god without the complete human form.
Okay.
You're throwing too many new words at me. How the hell am I supposed to remember all that?
Thank you.
Ennead, God realm, spirit realm. I can't keep up with that.
Well, considering that you are but a novice, I believe it best if we spend this time training your body to its potential. After all, the spirit temple is the ideal place to gather spirit magic during your training.
Wendy puts her hand on her hips and holds a disappointed face.
You mean now? Seriously? I just want to get out of here. Can't this wait until later? I need to go and make sure Shini's okay.
But who cares? I don't even know who that is.
My little lady. Your training is a very important matter. And also, not that I expected you to be aware, but you do realize that you've been asleep for almost 6 months. I'm sure that boy of yours has resolved his conflict by now.
Maybe so, but still I should.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, did you just say 6 months?
I'm afraid so.
What do you mean 6 months?
Wendy screamed so loud Seth had to cover his non-existent ears.
Yes, before arriving here, you slept dormant in that cave for 6 months as your mind healed itself from the trauma. Combated your transformation, your body stayed in a state of suspended animation, keeping you alive by proxy of the Phoenix regenerative abilities. So, in the case, whatever fate has befallen your partner, I'm sure has already come and passed, for I cannot answer if that fate was kind to him.
No. What if something worse happened to him? I need to get out of here and make sure.
Wendy was close to having a panic attack. I think she already did have a panic attack, to be fair. It had already been 6 months since she and her previous childhood friend, who cares, ran into traffic and met their end. Who cares? Childhood friends are not important. Move on, girl. For all she knew, the K is missing. He had already died.
There might be a way to make sure he's alright. All you have to do is connect with him through the spirit world. Since you associated with him before you arrived here, you must already have a read on his spirit signature. Theoretically, if you can access the spirit realm and connect through your shared flame spiritually, you can find out if his spirit is safe.
I can do such a thing?
Yeah. For only after you gain a certain level of affinity with your spirit magic. And the only way to build that affinity is how you would refine any other skill, through extensive training.
Now crossing her eyes and bearing a more determined look, Wendy looks back at Seth.
I see. Well, talk me into it, alright? I'll do your dang training and then I'm getting out of this temple. Seth, how exactly will be conducting this training? To my recollection, you're not much of a spirit user.
Seth takes his arm out and summons a dark black weapon. A black sword that mirrors Wendy's.
You're right, Otto. For I have an ally that has instructed me on everything I need to know to teach a spirit magic user.
A sword, huh? I thought you couldn't interfere with real weird issues or something.
I cannot interfere with the acts of demons or humans. However, training...
I love that music, man.
Training an upcoming demigoddess like yourself is no doubt a worthy exception.
That girl is so good, by the way, as well. Hearing this, she raises her sword and takes action.
Is that so? Alright then, do be kind to me, Seth Senpai.
The two lunge at each other, clashing the ends of their swords together with a loud clank, sound emitting from the temple's walls. The training would prove to be long and grueling, stretching for an unforeseen amount of time. Oh. On the outskirts of the Sahara Desert, a long deserted place has become a haven for vile and malicious creatures to accumulate together. Those demons are soulless entities from the underworld that rise and claim the lives of innocent stragglers that wander these ancient deserts. From the midst of the blowing sun, a girl in the all-white can be seen giving prayers on top of the wasteland's many hills. An old discarded temple that seems to be made out of glass or some other unidentifiable element can be seen from the horizon. This young girl is seen to be praying alone in solitude, clad in a white sister outfit with a gold ankh in the middle going down her dress. Okay. For here, in these harsh deserts, is where her story begins. That's kinda a common design. I feel like white hair, white cloth for somehow religious character. Chapter 3, alright. Hibiki. we'll get to that tomorrow. Not today. Tomorrow. And we'll see where chapter 3 will lead us. Definitely a different kind of vibe. When it comes to music, yeah. Not gonna lie. I think I mentioned that before a few times, but at least when it comes to visual novels, I think you should, in general, avoid music with lyrics. But, well, maybe that's just my opinion. But yeah, for today, let's end it, and we shall continue tomorrow. For now, hope you enjoyed. As always, if you did, consider liking the video. If you're new around, consider subscribing. Always super appreciated if you stick around. And you can tell me if you also think that the world used to have cooler gods and goddesses in the past compared to now. I think we can agree on that. Yeah. And with that being said, let's end the video. I wish you an absolutely fantastic day. Bye bye.